What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I watched grammar. I watched the 2 interviews that Philip J. Spencer, I don't know what his middle name is, what he had did with Gamertag Radio and Destin. Totally forgot what his new thing is called, but he went solo. He said, IGN, he did all that. He bounced. He said, deuces. They're like, wait, Destin, you're the best. Anyway, so basically, he didn't really say anything that we didn't already know. I mean, if you look at the history of Phil Spencer talking, he's been easing it. And, excuse the, that. I got the sneezes. Anyway, so Phil Spencer's been easing it in, so to speak. He's been easing in the notion that Xbox is going to be a multi-platform publisher. Now, I don't like the term third-party publisher because they're more than that. Third-party indicates that they don't have a platform, but Microsoft Xbox does have a platform. They have a hardware platform and they have a online infrastructure platform. They have multiple platforms, actually. And so when you call them third party, it's kind of inaccurate, let's just say. So I will say that they are a multi-platform publisher. Meaning, of course, they have their own, and also they have, whoever else comes. If somebody else want to do a super console and Microsoft's like, yo, all right, we can just blip bloop and plop it over there, no problem, let's go. Somebody decides to make an arcade console cabinet and you put it in an arcade. Okay, that's a little ridiculous, but I'm just saying. Microsoft is kind of positioning themselves to have the ability to put their games wherever they want. And that's super powerful because you never know what's going to be the next biggest console or device. Nobody knew the Switch was going to blow up like it did. Even Activision, even Bobby Kotick was like, man, we should have put our stuff on the Switch. Look at how many he was regretting the decision not to put Call of Duty on the Switch. That's what he said. The guy who makes the most, the company that made the most, successful game, still the most successful game in Microsoft's hands. He said that. So Microsoft said, he's right. So let's do some stuff. And so, like I said, they've positioned themselves to be like, yo, day and date on Nintendo Switch 2. Here's the thing that I would love it if this happened. Okay, ready? Now it's not gonna happen with Call of Duty. Call of Duty's going everywhere. That's just what it is, right? But other games like Starfield and all these things, I have no problem, 0% problem with it going to the Nintendo Switch. None. Because Nintendo is, and it started with the Wii, where you get a Wii 360, all that good stuff, right? So, because of the price of the PlayStation 3 was so much, you can get a Wii and a 360 for the same price. That's why that came around. So, now that's still around. It's like, oh, you get a Wii and then you get a Switch and then you get whatever else you want to get. Your PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I don't know why you waste your money on that. But, that's what's up. So Switch 2 kind of be the same. If it's $399, a lot of people are going to buy it, right? And so even though it's not as powerful as, like, say, the next Xbox handheld would be, I would presume, maybe, we'll see. Still, you put it on there. It'd be lesser of a game as far as quality, whatever, but it'll still work. There's still parity in as far as features, right? So put everything, fire everything, put everything on Switch 2, Microsoft, and then you just selectively skip the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like Starfield on the PlayStation? Nah. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the PlayStation casuals don't buy games like that. But the Switch casuals, I would say all Switch players are casual. But anyway, Switch 2, they're going to graduate up to the 2. Guess what if the Starfield is at launch and all these other games are at launch, Microsoft games, Xbox games, they have a plethora. It helps Nintendo with the launch lineup. It helps Microsoft selling them old games, units, more money, more money, more money. And leave Sony out. Leave PlayStation out of it. Let them lay in the lurch. Let them just chill. Let them marinate in their own stew in their own juices, if you will, and get that fragrance in there. That PlayStation fragrance. How's it smell now? I'm just saying. If they did that, I'd be perfectly fine. Like, what games will go to PlayStation? I mean, I don't know. He didn't see, he said, not all games. I mean, there's going to be more games, but not all the games. And it makes sense. Like, if multiplayer games, of course, you want to be everywhere. Like, Killer Instinct. Whenever they get around to doing that, yes, that's going to be on PlayStation. And I would have no problem with that because, once again, the bottom line, not the bottom line as far as money goes, but the most important part of video games, of the business, is to keep it healthy, keep it going. You can't be proud and say, oh, we're not going to put it on there because they're our competitor. Blah, blah. I mean, if Microsoft was that type of company, they could decimate PlayStation right now. They have so much money. They can buy all the exclusives. They can do all the things that Sony wishes they could do because they don't have the money. But if they had Microsoft money, they would do it, and they would try to destroy Microsoft. They would try to destroy Xbox like they did to Sega. That's, ultimately why I hate Sony and PlayStation the way that I do, is because what they did to the Dreamcast, what they did to Sega back in the day. That's what they did. They said they pulled a Nintendo back basically, and they said, yeah, put the game on PlayStation. You can't put it on Dreamcast or whatever. I'm like, what is this? All the EA games, no EA games on Dreamcast. Like, what happened? What is this? And they almost got too, because 2K came out with the $20, and I was like, whoa, let's go. And it sold better. But anyway, that was the start of the hatred for PlayStation for many gamers who went from Dreamcast to Xbox, because Xbox, the OG Xbox, is literally a Dreamcast 2. It's basically the same console, except because the Dreamcast was, let's just say, the Xbox Zero, if you will. It had a Microsoft OS on it. Yeah, I don't remember. It was a Windows NT or something. I can't remember. And so, the PlayStation brand, while it's still popular, it's starting to find some I would say if you watch the fanboys, right, and you kind of see what's going on, listening and stuff like that, you say, okay, well, they're starting to turn, right? And like I said, I saw this coming a mile away, because I'm like, look, they're not doing nothing. They got no games. They wasted all this money on these stupid gas games. They running out of gas, all this stuff, right? And I'm like, they can't. I mean, it already takes them so long to make a game, and they don't have the number of studios that Microsoft has to move around and do all these things. Like, Microsoft they're full steam ahead on all these games, right? And they say, okay, who up next? Who Avowed? You wait. We got Call of Duty, we got Indiana Jones. Where you gonna put you? I don't know. I mean, we could polish up some of the bushes and stuff if you want us to. I mean, we could make the water look more pretty and stuff. We could do some stuff to it if you want us to, Philip. And he like, yeah. February. He's like, yeah. And then they went do, and they went to the lunchroom and had a break and had some coffee and stuff. And so now it's like, I think like the culture and the atmosphere around these studios at Xbox, Microsoft, is different, because it's not so much about crunch, which is kind of a thing with Sony studios. It's about timing, and it's about the schedule, and they have so many games and so many projects, so many studios making things, that they can shuffle it around and say, yo, you need more time? It's like, not really, but more time is always, because we got too many, we either gonna push you or we're gonna push you. Who want to go first? It's like mad options. And so I'm like, yo, this is what's up. I like this, because A, it's less stress for the developers. B, we get a better product as gamers. And it's like a win-win situation. And then when you look at the financial side, you look at PlayStation knuckleheads are going to buy our games on PlayStation and act like it's a W. oh, no more exclusives. Meanwhile, you're giving Microsoft 70 bones for every 100 bones that you spend on an Xbox game. Every $100 of Xbox game that is bought on PlayStation, 70 of that goes to Microsoft. Some cases 80, Call of Duty. But 70, right? And so, and yeah, they get their 30. But it's like, okay, let's pretend. Let's not pretend. Let's take into account that they have to pay for servers. They don't have their own servers. They have to pay, I believe, Amazon. I think they're using, I know they were using Azure for something, but I don't know if they're still using them for game and stuff. It might be just on the PC side. But they have to pay for servers. It would be hilarious if they're actually using Azure. So they're actually paying Microsoft for the servers, and they have to pay 70%. So they're actually paying more because the server situation with it's just wow, you know. It doesn't make sense when these donkey unicorns and ponies are like, oh, exclusives, you don't have exclusives anymore, dude. That's like y'all are still hung up on console sales, and that's a bad thing because it's old, and it's not a metric that means anything anymore, especially for PlayStation, because they hold that number in such high regard that they're willing to give you false numbers. They're not giving you to sell through. They're giving you to sell to retailers, which is not sell through, which is not active users. And so I'm like, so they can manufacture 70 something million consoles. But how many did they sell? 55? Maybe they're at 60 right now. It's so dumb. And these donkey unicorns and these ponies are like, oh, look at the jobs. I'm like, I don't even engage. I don't even like go and I'm like, I don't have the energy to talk to y'all. So I'll do it in this video. And so if you look at every aspect of how Microsoft is handling their business, their games, the console, all the stuff, it's like there's like no losing scenario. Tell me something. Spit it at me. How is Microsoft losing? They ain't got no more exclusives. Exclusives don't matter. When they don't have an exclusive, let's just take Ninja Gaiden 4, for example. Ninja Gaiden 4, for example. That's going to be on everything. And when people buy it on PlayStation, Xbox is 70%. How is that an L? It's like passive income. It's like they're just chilling, you know, like, and the whole thing about that is like, okay, that's fine. But the problem that I have, and I hope that Microsoft sees it, or maybe they'll see greater sales because they have better games than PlayStation. But PlayStation gamers or the casuals don't buy the PlayStation games that PlayStation is making for PlayStation, if that makes sense. Exclusives. They're bangers the casuals don't like. But Sea of Thieves kind of sold a lot. You know what I'm saying? So Microsoft is making the type of games that the casuals want to play. Now, will that cause some of the casuals to switch over to Xbox because of Game Pass? Game Pass. Gotta know what's easy. Hey, but will they? Who knows? I hate that song. I was thinking to make a remix to that, an actual song that sounded good. But the fact that it sounds so bad is kind of part of its charm, so I ain't gonna touch it, not yet. Anyway, the way that Microsoft is doing their business, taking certain exclusives, giving Sony something to play, giving them PlayStation players something to play, and at the same time, you realize that if they take their exclusives, right, some of their older games, and they put it on PlayStation, like let's see the Gears of War Phoenix collection, if that ever happens, they put that on PlayStation. All the ponies on unicorns, aha, we got Gears, and then E-Day comes out, but only for Xbox. Maybe it's a timed exclusive, maybe it's not. And guess what? All the people who played Gears 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation, they'll be like, oh snap, that's a new one. Where is it at? Oh, Game Pass. Oh, Xbox. Oh, let's go get it. Come on, son. The strategy is so multi-leveled that these donkey unicorns and ponies, they don't get it. They don't comprehend. I always said that Microsoft is playing 2869D chess and freaking PlayStation, they're not even playing checkers. They're playing like jacks or something. I don't even know. What's a simpler game than they're playing stick, roll the wheel, stick, old school timey games. They're playing. I was gonna say dice, but that's gambling. I guess any game could be gambling if you try hard enough. Anyway, it's just like, look, there's no way that a duck, unicorn, or a pony can say anything that will make sense, that would make PlayStation have a W in this scenario going forward. The only thing that PlayStation can do is make good games, and they can have a good game here and there. But even that is tarnished by what Yoshida said. And he said, yo, if y'all want some dope single-player movie type of games, you got to buy these remakes and remasters. I'm like, that's what you're telling you. That's almost as bad as saying go get another job to buy a PlayStation 3. That's how bad that is over at PlayStation. Like, y'all don't see it. Y'all don't want to say it. Y'all just want to harp on Phil Spencer said this and he said that, blah, 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 blah. But you're not looking at the bigger picture. And if you look into the future and you say, okay, the trajectory that Microsoft is going and the trajectory that Sony is going, what's the healthier trajectory? What you going to bet on? Come on, Microsoft has a way healthier trajectory. They got more games. It just looks good. It's just like, yo. And all of y'all who are caught up on, oh, it's not exclusive. Go sail a boat. No, that's dumb. Just grow up. I don't know what you should do, but you should stop talking, because read a book. No, don't read a book. Just, I don't know, go to a hypnotist and tell them to make you a better person. That's what you should do. Because it doesn't make sense. I'm tired. And yeah, so it's the outlook is, I mean, this year is crazy, right? They only went up to May aside Ninja Gaiden 4. And I'm like, bangers. Bangers. I'm like, I'm going to have Game Pass for a minute. Because I'm not, like, why would I not have it? Plus, they dropping all kind of other stuff. Towerborn still didn't come out. Is that what it's called? I'm still waiting for that game. There's other games coming out. I'm like, man, shoot. It's ridiculous not to have Game Pass. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging up, showing us, man. Like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what Philip, Dominus Maximus, Aurelius, Contrillius, Omega, Orion, all those things said. Is there, I mean, there's no FUD in what he said, but he's just, you know, and also, how we think he look? He's slimming up, yo. He's like, yo, I'm chunky. He was like looking at the tapes like, damn, how come y'all ain't tell me I had an extra pork chop hanging off of my jaw? Come on, son. How come y'all? I'm like, I mean, you're my boss. I don't want to get fired. You know, I was like, listen, next time you see some gravy or something, you tell me, because he's like, I'm going to the gym. And he went, now he's like, Now he's like, yo, I gotta go to the beach, get a tan. Now he's like, what's up? He's gonna look like that Arnold Schwarzenegger meme, except it's gonna really be him with the big muscles. Anyway, preach, hang out, I'll talk to you on the next one too. Tiltowait.